Hey, g'day Shane. Just thought I'd do a quick video of your system for you, showing it pretty much completed and running here. When you get it, this unit and the inverter will be in a couple of separate boxes. And if you have a look here, I've got some, well, this is the CMS wiring, but I'm using them. So that will be the your 240 in and your 240 out between my breaker box and the inverter. So they'll be just plug and play there on those. Same with this main battery feed into the inverter. So that's an Anderson plug there. You'll just plug that together. The only thing you'll need to do on the inverter is there's a couple of screws normally here, and there's a cover that goes on. You'll need to pop that cover off. This blue data lead will go in on VE bus, and then you can fit the cover back on. That's probably the only thing I couldn't make plug and play for you in that respect. The Orion 24 to 12 volt converter, I couldn't fit inside my breaker box. There's just not enough room to get that in there. So you'll have to mount that separately somewhere. There is this lead coming out here. So you can see there, one's red and one is black. That's positive and negative. You'll need to put a couple of, I mean, it comes with them, but the those, you know, blade connectors go on there. So the left two connections are the 24 volts in. The two right hand connections are your 12 volt out. And you can see a green one there that says, I know my camera's not going to focus very well, but I don't know where it's written, but anyway, sorry. But that green one there is a remote contact, and so you've got this little lead coming out of the breaker box that will fit in there for remote control, and so that there is controlled via a relay inside of here. If the battery voltage gets down too far, it'll shut down your 12 volt appliances. The touchscreen is running here. You can see at the moment what's happened there. The inverter's doing, you know, it's just 7 watts, basically standby power. There's 0 watts of solar. The inverter's on. The batteries are currently at 88%. Well, these are my test batteries sitting here. As far as the breaker box goes, we've got all the labellings in place there. We've got AC input, AC output. So there's two safety switches there. Let's just flick one on and just give you a quick press of the test button if I can get my finger in there. Sorry, it's not quite playing the game for me because I haven't got this cover on right. So there we are. You can see that's working. I've had this thing running this morning. So there is 3, you can see it's labelled there, solar panels 1, 2 and 3. 3 fuse holders. At the moment that one's open because that's the only one I've got solar cable in. I've got a couple of test panels plugged into that. That's open at the moment. We've got 0 watts. So if I close the fuse, if we come over here now, you can see now it's starting to make some power. It won't make much because it's a bit of a lousy day. The MPPT main breaker there is the next one along. Then a 20 amp breaker there just for that supply to the 12 to 24 volt converter. And then your main battery breaker here for the inverter. If you turn that one off, it actually kills everything, as well as the inverter. So that's that. Charge controller's mounted on the front here. You can see it's, you know, flashing bulk at the moment because we're doing a bulk charge. And I will just pop this open so you can see inside. Now, inside of here we've got the Serbo GX. So that's running the touchscreen. So that's instead of your color control that you had on your previous system, we now use the Serbo GX. It's got a few connections coming in here. There's the blue one down there. Lousy autofocus has disappeared on me. That says VE bus, so that's the one coming from the inverter. On the other end here you've got one that says VE CAN, and you can see a black, you know, computer lead just down there below my finger. So that black computer lead comes out down the bottom here as well. and it goes across to your Pylontech batteries. I'll give you a run through on how to plug in the Pylontech batteries in a moment, but it goes in on, where is the wording? There it is, CAN. So the black one there that I'm wiggling goes in on CAN on your master battery. The other stuff that we got plugged in here, there's a VE Direct cable there that's talking to the charge controller, and then these two here. Ordinarily I give you a like an extension lead. One of them's HDMI, the other one's just USB, but I don't have any, and I've had them on order and they still haven't arrived, so you'll have to find one of those yourself. Just a HDMI extension, you find plenty on eBay. If there's not enough length on the color control, on the color screen here, the touch screen, so I'm not sure where you're going to mount that. You might need to buy yourself a 1 to whatever meter extension. I've used them on a 5 meter extension before and it hasn't been a problem, but the USB doesn't work on a 5 meter extension, so if you're going to be a fair run, you might need to put a separate USB port up near where the touch screen's going to be, so that yeah, you can power the thing, obviously. So HDMI is the data, and then power just comes on the USB. Your solar panel array, you are going to connect in 1, 2, 3 positives on those three there. They're linked across the bottom with a bus bar. The negatives of the solar, you're going to lift up this little lid here, and you'll see in there there's a row of 3, that's the main connector that goes back to the charge control, but the row of 4 pins are smaller, that's where your solar cables are going. So your 3 negatives, 1 in each screw, and that's where you wire up your solar panels. So positives on the fuse holder, and negatives on this bus bar here. You might be able to slip them through underneath the DIN rail, or maybe come down the side, whichever works out neatest for you on the day. This side here is the 240. So for connecting your 240 shore power, your bus power coming out on this breaker here, your Sparky will need to connect in the active neutral there. There's an earth bar there. For shore power in, there's this contactor here, and if we have a look down there's 4 terminals across the bottom. I've used the middle 2 for the Phoenix input. You'll use the outside 2 for the shore power connection. That's where they'll come in, and then this contactor here feeds out the bottom and wires into this safety switch here, and then comes out of the top of the safety switch and goes down to the input of the inverter. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, batteries. Okay, actually what I'll do, I'll stop the video and I'll do another one showing you how to set it all up. Okay.